get to live. There we go. Now it's ready. YouTube is live, so we're already live on Facebook and Twitch. So welcome to the show. It's a big shoe. We got a big shoe going here today. Big shoe. All right, let's drop the screen here to the countdown screen. Take it off. There we go. Although I don't have a countdown timer going. Let's see what our big, massive audience has to say for us today. For our audience out there that can go to Facebook, please go to our Facebook page at WP Plugins and make sure it's live, and also go check out the Twitch page. Because I'm not going to load all that stuff up here. When I did the show the other night, it's loaded and caused everything to run to crappy speeds.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to do all the additional massive streaming, thereby loading up the...
Yeah, that's what Tuesday is for. It's for testing and playing.
Yeah, well, not like we have a massive audience anywhere or everywhere at the moment. So.
No, not really. I like our audience here.
Yeah, well, we got a decent audience here.
The good people.
It works. Talk again.
All right, I will talk.
There we go. That works.
Squirrel!
All right. Backup recording devices. Backup recording. We got stuff happening. It's a happening, man. It's a happening.
So I have to go and get new headphones.
Yeah, you'll have to make sure you get something that actually works functioning fully for your stuff.
Yeah, I know I'm not going. I think my headphones and my speaker system got damaged in the movers.
Yeah, well, it's not just echoing; it cuts out occasionally.
The cutting out is definitely my headphones.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the echoing. I'm not sure why that's going on.
I know it's not me, and there's not much else I can do here at this end to make it work.
It just means I gotta go shopping.
Yeah, well, could be worse.
Yeah, it could actually. It could just not work at all, which would definitely be worse.
Yep.
Because then I'd be on a headset.
That would be much
the
worse.
kind of use on your phone.
Mm-hmm. So let's see what we had 3 people waiting there for us, and now we've only got 2. Oh, MDN, welcome to the show. Yep, she's an outdoor high school PA system. That would be her microphone. There's nothing I can do about it at this end.
Yeah, things got pretty destroyed in my move. For anyone from around here, don't use Abe moving. They wrecked a lot of our stuff.
Yeah, they seem to suck.
Including my headphones, because they stacked things on a container I had of my computer stuff that I had in the closet. But don't put anything. So things got wrecked.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't have a board system here on this computer. Like my computer at the Brewery Overlook, I have the mixer board on there, and I run everything through the mixer board, and it cleans you up nicely when we have these problems.
Yeah.
But here I don't have that. I don't have those options here. So
I'm gonna have to find some of that magic money and get a board and new headphones.
Although I probably could with where is the settings for? There it is. Yeah, I could probably play with this voice meter one time as a practice evening or something, and move your inputs into this virtual board on this computer.
That might work.
Yeah, we'll talk again.
All right, I will talk.
Yeah,
and whine and whinge.
Coming through here. Okay, let's see what happens. Hold on, okay, you talk.
Okay. Why does my brain always go completely blank whenever you say you talk? It's like I can talk about just about anything at any time, except for when you say you talk.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to clean it up for you and see if I can clean you up on this.
I have a really cool decoration on my desk that I had the kid help me make. My partner got these like hollow plastic skulls for Halloween. We never did get around to putting up Halloween decorations. We literally moved on Halloween. But what I did is I had the kid fill one of them with rice.
Yeah.
I made a hole in the bottom of scald, and I had her do it with rice and then just tape the plastic bit back on top. So now I've got this nice weighted skull that sits on my desk that I can put on like paper and stuff, because my desk is pretty close to our new balcony.
Yeah.
And every time that door opens, it creates a lovely wind tunnel. So it's a great way to hold down all my papers. And I love the fact that I get to have a skull holding things down.
Well, that works.
Yeah. And rice is always a pretty good waiter thing. I don't know why, but rice just works so well.
For weight?
Yeah.
Because rice
Right. If you put rice into like a plastic bag,
Uh-huh.
and then you shove it in there and you like you seal the plastic bag and you seal the container, then nothing can hatch and come out of the rice. But it works so well as a weight thing, because it's never too heavy in small amounts, but it's always just heavy enough for whatever you need.
Yeah.
Actually, my older daughter, she decided she wanted a weighted stuffy, so she filled the stuffy up with rice.
Keep talking.
Okay. And again, my brain goes blank. It's a very cool little place that we moved into. A lot smaller than our last place, but I like it. And I found out which way our balcony is facing. Turns out my older daughter had 3 compasses, which I think those are the 3 compasses that were supposed to belong to the 2 girls and myself.
Mm-hmm.
But she had all 3, and I found out my balcony actually points north.
Okay. All right. Hold on a sec. Let's see. That last bat that Amber was talking about, does it sound any clearer? It sounded a little clearer from my end. And I've got a little problem with mine, so I've got to boost my signal up just a little bit. Talking. 1, 2, 3. What? Check one. Check. Bing, 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 bong, bong, boom, bong. Bing, bong, bong, boom, bong. There we go. See, that's what you do when you just got to talk. You just randomly say words. Whatever happens to pop in your brain and out your mouth pan.
Yeah, but my brain blank, so I look around the room.
Yeah. Okay, and I can't do anything about your cutting out.
Yeah, no, that's entirely my headset. So frustrating.
Yep. So what I suggest you do is for the entire length of the show, you get in a position where it all works, and then you just don't move.
What do you mean, get into a position?
Yeah, well, move your head just the right way. Don't move, don't pick up, don't drink, don't vape, don't do nothing. Just sit there in one position like you're a perfect statue and talk. That way it continues to work properly, because it sounds like you move around or something, and suddenly because you move, it jiggles the wires, and because the wire jiggles, it cuts out.
Really easy for someone with ADHD to do. You're totally capable of staying totally still, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. I can stay still for at least 1 second, sometimes 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh. I think I have a record of 10 seconds of staying still.
Sounds the same, but still understandable. Well, at least I'm understandable, even if I sound like a high school PA system.
Yeah, well, I guess there's nothing else I can do from this end.
Yoga. I like yoga.
Yogurt. Yeah, yogurt.
No, man, yoga.
All right, somebody check our Facebook status and see if we're live on Facebook, and someone check our Twitch status and see if we're live on Twitch. It's almost showtime. We're coming up to the wire. I think we're getting right down there to where it is Moozok time. Where is this thingy here? Need this thing here. Yippers. Yep, it's Moozok time. All right, Moozok time. Let's go have some good music, bad singing, and get ready for shooting.
Don't they know you're
Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Preacher man discovered, passed down from saint to sage, like a kind-hearted lover who's been lost on this stage. Went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Come on now. Not saying they're right or wrong. I ain't no Texan dancer, Lord knows where I belong. Went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Chucky and the Chigger just seen who done the crime. Captain pulled the trigger, guess who's doing time? They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, is he yours or is he mine? Claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In our search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. We're missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Devil's at a crossroads, Joker's doing fine. Just sitting doing time.
Alrighty then. It be showtime. So let's get this puppy started up and running.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WordPress Plugins A to Z, not Z.
Falling for WordPress plugins. It's episode 536, and we have plugins for moon phases, saving posts, gravity forms, tracking the source, Masterbar Note, canceling orders, and ClassicPress Options, all coming up on WordPress plugins from A to Z. WordPress. It's the most popular content management and website solution on the internet. And with over 80,000 plugins to choose from, how do you separate the junk from the gems? Join us for a weekly, unrehearsed conversation about the latest and greatest in WordPress plugins. This is WordPress Plugins from A to Z. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the oasis deep in the heart of the Cowichan Valley. I'm John Overall, and with me is the ever lovely... Hello.
I said Amber overall. I guess you didn't hear me.
It cut out.
This is going to be fun.
This is going to be a fun show. Murphy's still playing with us and teasing away and making it loads of fun. We do have a great show for you today. We'll take a couple of moments, though. Let's have a moment of remembrance, for it is Veterans Day here in Canada, or Memorial Day in the States. So let's take a moment of silence to honor our vets who have served. Now, we won't sit for the full minute because a minute of silence on a radio or even a podcast is a hell of a long time.
It does feel like it, yeah.
It feels like forever. A minute's a long. Stand a minute in silence, you'll find out how long it is. But we do like to acknowledge those. I have numerous family members who have served and friends, and lots of people have served. So thank you for your service, everyone. Fall is here and the seasons are changing. So get out there and enjoy it while you can. Before I get too far down the rabbit hole, everyone, yes, Amber's back after 2 weeks of just having to listen to me. You know, she had a rough go for the last couple of weeks, but it's all back, and now we're going to have to work through some sound issues today. But you know, it is what it is, and that's how it goes. Want to remind you all to hang around to the end of the show for the Q&A segment with Amber. And to those listening on the podcast, you will want to check out the YouTube version, or now the Facebook version, or the Twitch version, which you can listen to some great show discussions before the show, and then also catch the remaining of the Q&A segment, which is split up. With all of that being said, it must be time.
Thank you for sharing, John. Now get down from that soapbox.
Oh, well.
Okay, so apparently I came off as the ever lovely blurb.
Yep.
This is number 43 of 52 episodes for 2021. We are almost at the end of another truly frenetic and busy year. I mean, I personally consider Halloween my own New Year's, and this year I actually moved on Halloween. So it was kind of a total Alice down the rabbit hole, upside down, topsy-turvy weirdness in my case for Halloween this year. But, you know, I think this next year is going to be truly amazing. After all of our best laid plans have gone completely upside down and backwards, so therefore it should be straightening out in the next 4 or 5 months, I hope.
Yeah, give or take.
By the way, I'm stoked to be back. I missed everyone. And remember that no matter what is needed doing, like in my case, my entire kitchen, and I'll have at least 2 walls worth of boxes, still take the time you need for you. Have a bath, have a nap, chill out, just take a breather before getting up and moving on. It really helps in the long run. Take care of yourself now, and then you'll have more energy to rinse and repeat as often as.
Yep, you're cutting out a lot.
Jeez.
Got to be teasing that cable on your headset.
I actually didn't move. I didn't even talk with my hands.
Oh, well, that's weird.
I actually have my hands trapped, so I can't talk with them because I always talk with my hands.
Well, we'll move along.
Please, can everybody be quiet? Please be quiet. Shut up! Thank you. And now the WordPress news with John Overall.
Oh, Amber instead. Oh, actually, I do have one piece of news this week since it's right off the top at the top of the news. I do want to cover this one. What I've got for you this week is a piece of news. It's actually a really good video. And, oops, going to the wrong page. Need it to be all the way over here. There we go. Load up. At any rate, this is a YouTube video. Unfortunately, the fellow's name has skipped my head, but I got to chat with him about this video along with last week I was on WP Tonic's Roundtable. So that's a really good show. You can go check it out. Link is in the show notes for it. And this is a really good video he did on why freelancers aren't making more money. And as the discussion goes on in the video, he talks on here, it's kind of an interesting thing, is that a lot of it has to do with freelancers not valuing themselves properly, and some other ideas and information. So you will want to go check out this video, and it's really worthwhile to get a hand on. It comes from Lockdown Design and SEO, and you can go check out their information for more stuff too. All right, I'm done.
That's actually... It's a really good point. People don't value themselves and their freelancers very well.
Nope. Took me years to figure out how to value myself, and didn't make real money.
Okay, so the first one I've got is Radio Station Pro offers new tools for live broadcasters. Wow, I didn't say that right. But this could be really useful for podcasters and other entertainers out there. It's worth checking out if you are not pleased with your current toolbox. that you have on your computer. So I'm not entirely sure how well these tools work as it stands, because it seems to be a new thing. But again, but worth checking out.
Yeah, it could be, especially if you're just getting into podcasting. You know, you want to take the easiest route possible to get there. And there's a lot of easy routes to get there in podcasting. And podcasting is very worthwhile. It's one of the things that helped me build this business.
So next is AMP has irreparably damaged publishers' trust in Google-led initiatives. This is actually a pretty good article. It definitely caught me up on the past couple of weeks of what was going on with it. And it covers the issues arising from AMP speaking out after the court proceedings, the response from Chrome leadership, the oppositions of many major tech organizations revolving around the Flock and other Google-led initiatives. So it's let me guess, I'm cutting out and it sounds funny.
No, it's the Flock, man. We had several episodes about the Flock.
Yes. The Flock is still an issue, a major issue, and like lots of companies are like, oh, bad.
Yeah.
Just don't
get the Flock out of here.
Yeah. It's a major issue, and like they're going to court over it and everything. And this article brings you up to speed. It has a lot of links that you can go off of, so you can actually catch up even more or learn more about what's going on, what people are saying, how they're reacting, and all that.
Absolutely.
Next one up is PatchStack releases free security plugin, and its red team found 1,182 vulnerabilities since March. According to PatchStack, this is to be expected with each plugin. Multiple security vulnerabilities and really nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Though the amount of security vulnerabilities, in my opinion, that's not a great amount of security vulnerabilities. But
yeah, it's nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about. To be expected.
Be expected. This is what happens when an alpha version is released as a release.
So that one was something that I thought people might be interested in. Quick note from the WordPress bartender. There are questions regarding where all the WooCommerce blocks are for, I guess it's for Gutenberg is what I understand.
Yeah.
And this is just a great explanation on how WooCommerce is a third-party plugin related to WordPress core. And that's why they don't have any blocks yet, because it is their responsibility. So for those using Gutenberg who are unaware of that, it's a good thing to be aware of.
Yeah, well, when you're getting your stuff and you're something for WooCommerce, make sure whatever plugin you get offers a WooCommerce block.
Yeah.
That would be my suggestion, because yeah, they wouldn't have a block pattern stuff for it. So at any rate, I don't have all the terminology for WooCommerce or for Gutenberg yet.
The last one I have in this list is Automatic acquires WPS scan. May be rolled into Jetpack in the future. For now, there are no changes planned for the service, though we will keep an eye on it and let you know if anything to our attention. Essentially, though, I can say right now, expect some changes down the road, because there always seems to be changes when Automatic acquires something.
Oh, yeah. Well, the interesting thing about this is, like, this was one of the topics of discussion that was on the WP Tonic last Friday too, and there is the Jetpack was already using WP Scan in their Jetpack. They were already licensing a type of licensing for using it, and now they just bought it outright. And of course, Jetpack will, which is overbloated to begin with, but they will make changes. They will increase costs, et cetera, et cetera. It's inevitable. It always happens. Everything that Automatic touches does that. So. And then
we've got some extras, and I've got some pretty cool things in there, like first ever drag race between flying cars. That's just too cool not to share. And an awesome N64 lookalike for about $40 Canadian that has 600 games in it, doesn't require cartridges. I thought that was pretty cool. For gamers, chip shortages are causing Valve's seed to not ship out until 2022. So that's an issue, because there's been lots of delays already.
Yep.
And there's a few other things in here, some WordPress stuff, It's some interesting extras.
Yeah, well, go check them out. Lots of really interesting news pieces in there, folks. All right, let's roll this right on, and let's talk about the time, talent, and treasure for the show.
It's time to donate to WP Plugins A-Z.
Absolutely. This is the segment where we like to acknowledge right off the bat, as close to the top as possible, all the people who help make this show possible. That would be you, the producers of the show. After all, this is a value for value model, meaning if you get any value out of it, then hey, it's time to give some value back. You can start by subscribing to the newsletter. That would help us out a little bit, get you on the newsletter, you get some information. Sooner or later, we're going to have regular newsletters going out that are more than just the weekly roundup of the show, just other tips and information about what's happening. We do like to start out by acknowledging on the show our artwork. After all, we get new artwork every week. We are one of the few podcasts out there that change our artwork every single episode. And for the last year, I have not had to produce that artwork. And it's been coming from our artists. In particular, lately, it's been coming from one artist. But hey, we'll take what we get. We could use several more. This week's art comes to us again from Greg's Graphics. And it is a magnificent piece. Beautiful photo of the fall forest with the light shining through. Really gorgeous piece of art here. And I do like the way he worked our logo and our lettering with the colorings to match the fall colorings in the background. Nice work, Greg. Really appreciate that one. That one there is just an amazing one to sit and stare at. I've seen places like that in the forest, and you just want to sit there for hours at a time.
Yeah, it looks like one of those pictures that you put up on your wall above where you work. So you can just chill out and stare at it after you're stressed out for a minute. Oh yeah, it's definitely one of those. It's a great one. So thanks, Greg. We greatly appreciate your support of the show and your continuous supplying us with fresh art week after week. We really greatly appreciate it. For all you other artists out there, hey, we could use some artwork, and all you got to do is go to WPPlugins A-Z.com to submit the artwork. And no, I didn't want to download that. I wanted to go back to the other art. And if you want to see the art that is submitted, you can just go to WPPlugins A-Z.com, show art submitted, and see all the artwork that we have currently submitted in there. We've got 38 pieces in there, along with a whole bunch that'll soon be in there. I've had a couple of people who have expressed interest in helping us manage the gallery, and as soon as they get their time and figure it out, we will possibly get this going and get all the old artwork going back for a couple, 3 years in here. And there is quite a bit of it, some of it by me, but many by other artists that were creating art for us. So again, you want to really help the show, that's one way you can help the show out. Another way to help it out is with your treasure. And we like to acknowledge anyone who comes in with $50 or more donation. We would give them this spot right here where we'd read out their note, put it in the show notes, and have links to wherever they want that to go to in the show notes. And they get an executive producer credit, a real credit that they can use wherever credits are recommended. So think about that, folks. We would love to have you here at the executive producer level of the show. But for those of you who come in below that, and there are a few of you, we thank you very much. It stays anonymous, and we have a few of those out there, and thank you very much. It's a few bucks here, a couple of bucks there, not enough to get us rich, or occasionally, no, it doesn't even buy us coffee because it goes into the expenses. But hey, who knows, one day. But anyway, keep it coming, folks. We greatly appreciate it. Other thing you can do is donate your time to the show. And time for the show means, things we need done, such as managing the art gallery, maybe promoting us on social media, maybe telling folks about the show. Get out there and tell everyone about it. So at any rate, you want to support the show, just go to WPPlugins A-Z.com/support for more information on how you can do that. Okay, it is time to dive into the meat and potatoes in the show. Off we go into the depths of plugin depravity. All right, first off, we got here, we'll talk about ClassicPress. I don't have any ClassicPress news or plugins this week. We're keeping ClassicPress here, simmering in the background, waiting for more information to occur. I believe ClassicPress is going to be a major player in the field. It might take them a couple, 3 years to do it, but I still want to try and keep up to date with them from time to time. If you happen to be a ClassicPress user or know someone that is, and you'd like to have more stuff here on the show, please submit it to us, and you can submit it direct, john@wppro.ca, or just go to our contact page and submit the information there. And we will get it in the show and give you appropriate credit if you would like it.
So with that being said, just go check out ClassicPress.net for more information on what ClassicPress is doing. All right, for WordPress plugins, I do have some for you. And the first one I've got for you here is a rather simple plugin, rather straightforward. It's called Masterbar Note. Don't say that too fast. This is a simple plugin. What it does is once you install it, it allows you to add a note up at the top of your, they call it master bar, but it's just the admin bar. And up at the top, you can add a short message there for any other administrators to see. Or if you got to tell yourself something you want to look at later, if you remember to look at the admin bar, this could be a plugin that helps you out. I thought it was kind of cute, new. Figured, hey, why not? Let folks know it exists. Maybe there's people out there that might want to use this. So it is a brand new plugin. Go check it out. I give it a 4-dragon rating, and it is Masterbar Note.
That actually sounds like it could be really useful.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe admin was already taken.
Yeah, well, no, admin note? I don't think so.
First one I have is PostSaver. This is a neat little plugin that I came across. It's still pretty fresh on the market. The idea is to make it possible for your visitors to save their own collection of posts for later viewing right there on your site. So what you do is you start off by adding the short code that is provided to any given page you want to allow your visitors to save. Then they'll be able to fill out the registration form that allows them to start saving their own collection of your work, which I thought that was a really great idea, especially like there's some sites I go to that I would love to have my own collection of because they help me with a lot of things. So I both like and dislike the fact that you need to place this shortcode on every page you want people to be able to save. It gives you complete control, but it also means a lot of tedious work if you have a lot of articles that you want people to be able to save. It would be great if you could somehow use this in categories, or you make it so you only have to put the shortcode in for sections or something.
Yeah.
That is one drawback that I noticed. I rate it at 4 dragon.
Alrighty, well, that's kind of. I was thinking that'd be a cool plugin to add to the WP plugins, so people could curate their own shows with specific plugins. But if you got to stick it on every single page, that's near impossible. Yeah. You know, we got 536 episodes of notes and all the other bits and pieces that have been published over the years.
Exactly.
They should. Hopefully, they figure out how to make it so that you only have to put the short code so people can create their curated note page, but and then it just goes through and finds the stuff. But yeah, it's got so much promise. But God. As soon as you said that, I went, wait a minute, that's way too much. There's no, if you did that from the very beginning of your site, that's different. But you're talking about somebody's like, hey, this would be cool for my users, but I've got hundreds or thousands of pages.
Exactly. It's the one drawback I found, but it's so promising. Like PostSaver seems like a really great idea. It needs a little bit more tweaking.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, the next one I have for you. This one here is Display Gravity Form Entry Anywhere. This is a additional shortcode on top of the Gravity Form shortcodes to allow you to place it. Like there's only the occasional time where the Gravity Form shortcode won't work somewhere, and this shortcode is supposed to work everywhere and anywhere. You do have to do a little bit of work to make it work. You got to add the entry ID, the form ID, the template ID, etc. And then it will display the entry information for your form on a page. So I thought it was a useful thing, something that if you're a Gravity Form user like I am, I'll probably give this a try the next time I get stuck and need something. But I thought it was a really cool idea, something that would be very useful to help folks out. Seemed remarkable enough, so I gave it a 5 dragon rating. And that's Display Gravity Form Entry Anywhere.
Yeah, it does seem like it'd be. MDN said, changing all those posts sounds like a job for a freelancer who doesn't value themselves highly. Yep.
Yeah,
Totally.
someone willing to take $5 an hour. Call Fiverr for that.
Next one I have is Kawuda UTM Source Tracker. Hopefully I said it right.
So I couldn't
This
tell
is
you. Kawuda?
Kawuda. I don't
Kawuda?
know.
Kawuda or Kawuda. One of the two. Either way, it works.
Either way, it is a source tracker, and it seems like it could be very useful. It did take me a moment to figure out the settings once I activated it, and I realized this tracks you as well as anyone else on your site, which I found interesting. It offers up real-time tracking and a history. You're able to set it for how many days in the past you see, how many rows of information you see, like how many different options and stuff, and you also have the ability to search month spans. You get to see where your visitors go, how long they were there for, how many pages browsed, etc. Very useful for your site, no third party needed, and totally free.
Cool.
I rate it at 5 dragons.
Very cool. Find out what your users are up to. Join
And
the
you
tracking phase. Track everything. All right. The final one I have for you today is called The Moon, Current Phase, and Next Eclipse. Now, this is similar to a plugin I've been working on for years that I still haven't got around to finishing. Basically, what I was doing was recoding an old freeware program to work in WordPress. I half-assed coded it one time, and it's still live on an old website I built years ago. I can't remember the name of it. It's one of my old sites. I'd have to look. I'm not even sure the site's still running. But at any rate, this is a really cool one. I thought it was neat. What it does, they did go one step further than what I did. And they show you what the stage the moon is currently in. They tell you what type of moon it is, waxing, waning, crescent moon, etc. They tell you what percentage it is, what astrological chart it's in, or astrological sign it's in. And then that also tells you when the next lunar eclipse is due to happen. So
That's cool.
I thought that was a pretty cool use of it and what it does. And I've got to add this to one of my fun sites because I like tracking the moon phases, because the moon phases are interesting. They can help you with fishing and hunting and other things, knowing when the moon is, because the animals move around the moon for some reason. So at any rate, I thought it was really cool. It is free, and it's something you'll want to go check out if you're interested in this. And I give it a 5 dragon rating. It is The Moon, Current Phase, and Next Eclipse.
That is really cool. Last one I have is Cancel Unpaid Order for WooCommerce. I can see both the positives and negatives of this plugin. On the one hand, you can set up your sites that people who just simply add items to their cart and totally forget and never come back can't keep a hold on the stock. But I also see how people like myself who put things in their cart leave and come back to see the items to decide whether or not to get them second time around, they would lose out. And sorry. I'm also under the impression that for the most part, unless you actually pay for the item, WooCommerce doesn't really put on the stock items. I mean, in my experience so far, until you pay the money, you don't really have any real claim on the item. I've had it plenty of times where I go into a shop and I go to buy the item and it says out of stock. You know, it's in your cart, but you don't really have a claim on it. So I'm not sure how many sites have it where as soon as it's in someone's cart, it's considered already bought. You know, it's something to think about.
Well, there are my shopping cart. It holds the inventory until it holds the inventory for half an hour, or until they pay for it. At the end of half an hour, it releases the inventory back. And many shopping carts do that when there's limited inventory stuff, because you have to be able to control your inventory. And it's like, if you're like a lot of people like me, even myself, when I go shopping on e-commerce, sometimes it'll take me half an hour, 15, 20 minutes to shop around, add things to cart, and finally check out. So you've got to have this.
This plugin is very easy to use. You plug it in and go to settings, set up the parameters you want for this to go. And I mean, you can set it for, minutes, hours, days, months, or even years. So like you can set for any amount of time. Like I said, I see the pros and the cons of it, but I rate it at 4 dragons.
Oh, well, it's still useful. I can see a lot of use for this, for people that have shopping carts like that, or where people sometimes will add stuff to their cart and they'll abandon it. It's like I do it all the time. I start to shop on something, I add stuff in, and then I rethink and say, nah, maybe I don't want to order it right now. And I close it out and walk away. I don't go bother to empty the shopping cart. So.
Exactly. And then if you go off, see what this does is it actually like removes the things from the cart for the person. So it doesn't just put it back in stock. It actually removes from the cart. So the person has to go find it again.
Yep.
So it's, like I said, I see pros and cons.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, let's roll it along. We don't have a promotion yet for who the show is brought by. It'll probably be the tavern real soon. And listener feedback, we're still waiting for listener feedback. We haven't had any in quite some time. We love the good, the bad, the ugly. Hey, bring it all on, man. Bring it on, folks. Questions, feedback, let us know how good, how bad we're doing, what you think, what the show is at. I mean, after all, the show is 12 years old now. So it's probably, it got stale, it gets exciting, stale again. Well, hopefully we're making it exciting again. All right, this is the point, though, where we are going to talk about...
It's a contest, WordPress plugins from A to Z.
Absolutely, contest. This is a primer for everyone. Starting next week, we will have a contest that will run till Christmas. It's going to be our Thanksgiving Christmas contest. Well, American Thanksgiving Christmas contest. Excuse me. At any rate, what we're going to be offering up is a 1-year hosting package from johnoverall.com. So it's going to be a free year of hosting on johnoverall.com. So you could win yourself an excellent hosting package, save yourself some money for your next project or whatever you're working on, and discover the best internet hosting out there, the best boutique hosting available. At any rate, we will have all the information announcing that next week, and the contest will start with next week's show. So tune in for it and get ready to go enter your email addresses to get that free 1-year hosting package. All right, we do need to cover up a quick things before we head into the Q&A segment. And first thing we do is cover up the plugins we talked about. I talked about the following: the Moon Current Phase and Next Eclipse plugin, which I gave a 5 to. The Display Gravity Form Entry Anywhere, which I gave a 5 to. And the Masterbar Note, which I gave a 4 to.
And I covered PostSaver, which I rated at 4. Kawuda UTM Source Tracker, which I rated at 5. And Cancel Unpaid Order for WooCommerce, which I rated at 4.
Alrighty. And let's see here. A couple other quick reminders. Meetups. I'm going to try and plan something for the new year. I'm really hoping to set something up here at the Oasis, so it'll be a limited amount of people who can attend, but I'm really hoping to get something in the new year, so I'll just keep popping that until I finally get it fully organized. If you would like to be interviewed, you're a developer, know a developer, or just simply would like to talk about WordPress, you can connect with us over at WPPlugins A-Z.com/interview. And if you have plugins or suggestions you want to have them reviewed, well, you can go submit them on the website or just send them directly to Amber at wppro.ca. She'll take care of all that for you. All right. This is where we move along to...
It's question and answer time.
Amber. I'm going to have to clip that and change that out.
Yep. If anyone out there has any questions they'd like to have asked on the show, send them in to me at amber@wppro.ca, and we will get them answered to the best of our ability. My first question is, what is cross-site scripting vulnerabilities? There's 3 bits that go with it, which is, can you fix it yourself? How do you figure out whether or not that is there? And can you protect against it preemptively?
All right. Well, we'll take the third one first here. Well, we'll take this cross-site scripting vulnerabilities are...
Yeah, what is that?
Well, what it means is once upon a time, one of the biggest ways of showcasing other people's information on the internet was using the embed code. Embed somebody else's web page within your web page. And other thing is links going off to other web pages. And when you're leaving one web page to another, there's information still being transmitted between those two sites, or it opens things up. I think that's it. People feel free to correct me if I'm missing things, because I know I am. But what happens is someone attacks your site from another site across Scribe, and they use a script on another site to attack your site. Could be, it happens with plugins. Plugins will sometimes refer to another website for a particular script or code. In fact, there were hijacks that were done a few years ago when people abandoned plugins, and somebody would be able to take them over, and they would inject their own script code in there. Or somebody refer to a domain that someone let expire, the hackers buy it up and they put scripts on that domain for those URLs, because all those old links still exist on the web. So it's vulnerabilities from another site going across to your site, or it's injections from another site going across to your site, infecting your site.
Okay, so when you were talking about cross-site scripting vulnerabilities, we're essentially talking about a bridge that's between the two sites from the embedding?
Yeah, something like that. Okay. And I don't have it fully in my head now, but that's what I do recall from it. Now, part 3 on it. Can you protect against it preemptively? Yes, you can, sort of. Use a web application firewall such as WordFence. WordFence helps out because it examines what's going on your site and shuts things down, provided that it depends how new the vulnerability is. The older ones are in your free version. If you want the latest versions of everything, you've got to pay for the premium version so you get the latest updated list of infections. So a web application firewall can help protect you preemptively. And other than that, there's no other real way I know of to protect preemptively. Can you fix it yourself? Sure. How's your coding skills? That's what it boils down to. How do you figure out whether or not it's there? You have to be monitoring all the things that happen on your site. And there are programs and monitors you can hook up to your site to see every single item that is being loaded and called to your site. In fact, you can do that with the tools function in the web dev tools in Firefox. The web dev tools in Firefox and Chrome and all other browsers have that web dev tool, which has a control panel and stuff, so you can see what's happening. So that's how you figure out whether it's there. Or when your site gets hacked and you're going, oh, what caused this? And you track it down, and that's how you find it. So it can be done. It's just, and fixing it yourself, it's up to your coding skills. How good are your coding skills? And tracking down and doing the code, undoing the bad code and putting in the good code.
Okay, well, I've only got one more question, so should we... Well,
read the question out. We'll close out the show for those on the podcast, and for those on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter and Twitch, you guys get the benefits of whatever else we got going on.
Okay, so this question was brought up simply by my pure frustration in trying to change my address everywhere. Is it a common trait for people who work on websites to tend to get lost on the front end of random sites that they go to? Because I'm finding that I tend to get lost in a lot of sites that I'm visiting. But I know that if I could get into the area where developers go, I'd be fine navigating. I could find anything. So that's my question. And why is it that the area that we work in mostly, why is it so different from the front end in the way it's set up for navigation? I understand like the visual and everything, but why do we do that? Why is it so different?
Oh, well, that's going to be a fun one to talk about. So make sure you all tune back in here. I'm going to let my girl take us on out, and we'll be right back.
Reminders for the show. All show notes can be found at wppluginsa2z.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A-Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to wppluginsaz.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also leave us a review on our Facebook page using wppluginsaz.com/Facebook. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencasts and training videos, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. Follow the show on Twitter at WP Plugins A-Z. John can also be reached at his website, johnoverall.com, or email him directly, john@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today.
Alrighty then. Yes. All right. So is it common for people who work on websites to tend to get lost in the front end of other websites?
Hang on. Handy additional question from our last question. Some ISPs used to inject stuff into their customers' web calls, like advertising. Maybe some still do. Since that will vary between groups of users, I assume a monitor won't always pick that up. Could also be a source of script vulnerability?
Yes, okay. It could be a source of cross-script vulnerability because for a long time it wasn't unusual to get a drive-by download through Google Ads. I remember those days. It was really scary. You have Google Ads load on a page and they were ads that linked to pages and poof, downloading something to your website and you didn't even know it occurred. It was a big problem for a couple of years until Google managed to shut that down.
Drive-by downloads. I've never heard that phrase, but that's awesome.
Drive-by. I did a lot of shows on drive-by downloads, probably around episode 200 to 400 or 200 to 300. It was a good couple of years. So at any rate, ISPs used to inject stuff. Some still do, and it's not the ISPs that do it. It's the connection. Like some airports and other places, you try to log into the Wi-Fi and boom, it redirects you to another page the moment you try to log into the Wi-Fi. Those things still occur, and they can still be done. And yeah, they could be something, and a monitor would pick that up. Yeah, if you got a monitor on your system, if it's your website. But usually it's directed at the computer itself for those sorts of things. I remember those days. I thought about getting into that kind of stuff, but I never did. But at any rate, it's the monitors, a good monitor on your system. There are monitors you can set up between your computer and your internet to tell you what's happening. In fact, there was a security device out there that actually intercepted all the traffic into this monitor and then fed it to your computer, helping to eliminate these things. So I can't remember it. It's been a while. And Spybot, that's good software. I haven't used that in quite a few years now. And there's a few others out there. When I had my computer store, I was up to speed on all of this stuff because it was all about the computers being attacked. And since I sold my computer store, I've slowly lost touch with all of this information. So at any rate, that's how I see that. All right, back to the final question. Is it a common trait for people who work on websites to tend to get lost on the front end of random websites as they go? Because you're finding that you tend to get lost in a lot of sites you're visiting to do the different things you need to do in life. But if you got into their site and went into the area for navigating it from their administrative end, you might not be able to navigate it. The biggest thing is you got to remember, as a web developer, you get used to doing things certain ways. and every web developer does things differently. The other problem is major companies' websites, they love to put so much information, so overwhelming. It's like, all I want to do is find out how to contact you. Couldn't you be intelligent and put it in one spot in the lower right-hand corner or in the top or in a menu or somewhere? No, let's hide it 10 pages deep.
Contact us?
Yeah, or under contact us or something. But yeah, some of the stuff that's done doesn't make sense except for to achieve the fact that they don't want you to contact them, really.
Yeah.
They want you to buy stuff because, they got all these promotions, buy now, and they make it real easy to order and buy, but they don't make it easy to talk to a human.
No, they don't.
I know when I had to go to a bank site just to deal with some information I needed, it took me 15, 20 minutes to figure out through the site how to do everything. What was that?
It's kind of insane.
So
I've actually found the phone number to contact a company. It wasn't under contact us.
Yeah.
It was, I don't even know where in their site it was. I had to go to a search engine to find their phone number.
Oh yeah, well that's the problem is they just make it difficult.
Never use a company that hides contact info. Well, if you're okay with chatting online with them, or if you're okay with emailing them, it's very easy. But I like doing things on the phone because when I'm on the phone, I get immediate response and I know that I'm interacting with a person.
Well, you think you are anyway.
Well, you are. You're interacting with the person, at least on the phone, whereas when you're doing chat, you don't know.
A lot of chats are bots now, pre-scripted bots.
Exactly. And I don't like that. I'd rather talk to a person. And a lot of the companies I've had to deal with, you can chat with them online, which is weird, or you can email them, which is irritating because it can take quite a few days to get back to you. But to find their phone number, my goodness, it's like the Holy Grail.
Yep. Well, as he says, sometimes you can get the contact info from the who is of their domain. Sometimes, but more and more these days, that information is now being hidden. I noticed when I bought a new domain the other day that the contact information is now hidden automatically. And if it's a .ca domain, those ones are automatically hidden. That information is not available on the who is. All you can do is send an email to the admin, and that's it. That's all you can do with .ca domains. So it varies across what domain you've got. Well, at any rate, that wraps everything up.
Yes, it does.
Good show, folks. Thank you very much. Appreciate everyone who showed up here, Facebook and Twitch. I don't know how many we showed up on the different platforms today, but hopefully we got 1 or 2 people over there. At any rate, I think that's it. Let's play a little music and close this show out.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder.
Alrighty, folks. That's all we got for you now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.